Yo.
What up?
Brand.
I don't know. Keep me on point.
Like
keep me
Brand?
focused. Raisin.
Do you like Raisin Brand?
No.
I don't like Raisin Brand either.
Is Raisin Brand or Raisin Bran?
Brand.
Brand?
No D.
No D. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 17th issue of Why Am I Nerd, present Joe Dope Comic, where each and every week we get together to talk all things comics. From old to new, fan theories to what ifs, we've got you covered. I'm Cameron James, and joining me, as always, the golden voice of podcast, none other than Matt Ferreira.
Ooh, great to be back. Yo, 17, you know what that means? We're almost legal.
18 is legal.
Yeah, we're almost
Isn't
legal.
17 legal?
In some states.
It is, right?
I don't know.
I mean, that's creepy. I mean,
yeah,
okay.
I was like, I'm just saying we're almost.
Not to get too like on that topic right now, but hold on. What happened from when we were 17 to like now? Like, I understand that's like 15 years ago, but like, did the human like species just evolve quicker? You know what I'm talking about here. I'm just trying to not say it.
I feel like when I was 17, I looked like a 12-year-old these days.
Yeah.
No, it's kids are different, bro.
Like
there's some shit. I think it's honestly, I really legitimately think it has to do with the steroids and stuff that they put in like milk and like all the animals and stuff. Like there's all these growth hormones that these animals consume, and then we in turn consume the animals. So if you're like growing at that point, it's gonna fuck with you a little bit.
But it seems like they're getting like they're more mature, obviously. Like especially women. I'm gonna just go out and say like women are maturing way faster than men. Because like men now, like when we were 17, we look like little puny bitches. But now these dudes, like I was like Dick's the other day, and this guy's like was like wearing like a football shirt, and I assumed he was from Shore. He was jacked out of his mind. But you know what they can't grow? Those motherfuckers can't grow
facial hair.
Yep. Damn, you knew exactly what I was going to say.
Exactly what you're saying. Because I've seen those kids too, where they're like my size. Like, how the fuck are you
but
like?
no beard.
Yeah, you're like 14. Like, because I'm like looking at the backs of their jerseys, and already it fucks me up because it's like 2020 something. I'm like,
yep.
yeah.
They must be taking Compound V. I mean, I don't know what else it could possibly be.
That was an excellent segue.
I gotta call you
That's
out on
such a good
something,
setup.
bro. You got this like gray hair. Just
no.
chilling.
No,
dude,
it's not.
Bro.
It's not. It's not a gray hair.
Did you tuck it? Because it was driving me nuts. I couldn't stop looking
we're talking
at it.
about right here?
No, it was down here.
Was it? I had one. There's one that exists in this region.
This sounds like really awkward if you're listening to this because I just said, is it right here? No, it's down there.
Yeah.
And then you said there's a gray one in this region.
He meant face.
Thank you. Because I got gray hair all over my face.
I've got like I think 4 total, and I literally like pulled 2 out.
But my grays, bro, they're not grays. They're like fucking like whites.
Yeah, no, I've
like straight up white
too. Yeah.
You got any grays?
Yeah, did you see my head?
No. Where?
No, I actually can't tell at all.
Damn, bro, look at that gray.
All on the sides.
There's one. Oh man, I see one.
Yeah,
So
certain,
what is that?
certain
Is that
lighting.
what Compound V does to us? Then are we just
I
getting
don't know.
gray?
See,
and
okay,
white
but
hair?
time of grays are different, dude. Motherfuckers. What if we're graying faster because they're aging faster?
Like they're taking our youth?
Yeah.
Fuck them. Let's go to war.
Fuck. Now what? Because you figure the demographic that's probably going to listen, like that probably listens to this, besides the fact that they're probably nerds like us, older nerds like us, they're probably younger kids. I mean, then again, we do say the fuck word a lot and talk about weird, talk about weird shit. So I don't
Are
really.
they Gen Z?
Yeah, Gen Z.
Right.
We're
Millennials.
We're millennials.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We get a bad rap.
Yeah, but we're like on the.
Millennials.
Aren't we on
it's
the
like
cup?
the second half millennials are like the real questionable ones that like are almost Gen Z, but we're like full on actual straight up millennials, and like our defining features that we went from like the non-tech era to the information age, you know.
But then what's Gen Z?
These little motherfuckers running around now.
Yeah, but what's their? Were they super tech?
They're dumb. They're
Gen Z is 5 to 24.
24?
24, it says.
Damn.
What do you mean 5 to 24?
Oh,
years
wait.
old?
The ages 5 to 24 are counted as Gen Z right now.
Wait, then what's 4?
What?
What's 4-year-olds? What's the next generation?
They don't have a name yet.
Aren't they Y?
No, there's Generation X is the generation before us.
I just know the
It's baby boomers, Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, millennial.
So we just happen to have a weird name.
Yeah,
because we
grew up
were born
during
when
the
it switched.
millennium. But I mean, baby boomers have a weird name too, and they're fucking everything.
Yeah,
up,
but do you
so.
remember? Do you remember when it was like the year 2000? Everyone was like, okay, the second the
Y2K.
clock, yep,
Oh, Y2K,
the
yeah.
second the clock hits 12 o'clock and everything goes to 00, the world was gonna end.
Yeah, which
It
I'm
was
like,
over.
how was nobody prepared? It's like even if
I was
that was a
12.
real thing, like how is that even possible that nobody was prepared? Like nobody thought in like I don't know 96. Like, hey, wait a minute, 4 years from now it's a goddamn millennium. Like maybe I should back this computer up.
I mean, I'm sure no one predicted somebody ate a bat and got COVID. all
Well,
over
they,
the place.
they found the guy's name who did that.
Did they?
Yeah.
Is he alive?
No, I don't think so. He's like he looks terrible, honestly. It's like this American dude. He apparently like comes from like a lot of money, but like was doing some kind of training program or like researching something in China and ended up eating a bat so he could absorb its essence. His name was I think it was Bruce Wayne.
Once again, this is Why Am I Nerd presents Yo What Up Comics. You can follow us on Instagram at Why Am I Nerd Official, Facebook.com/Why Am I Nerd, and listen to new issues every Tuesday on your favorite podcast
was
service,
fucking good.
or new issues every Monday on YouTube, and just search Why Am I a Nerd.
Slash a bunch of
Because-
weird
yeah.
letters and stuff because we're not
We're at
verified.
58 subscribers.
Yeah, we're jumping
got
up there.
6
We got
more.
a few shouts to all the new subscribers. Thank you very much. You know who you are.
And of course, the Spotify and podcast network listeners.
Yeah, of
They're
course.
still
you guys,
kicking it hard.
Which we apparently found out recently we need to jump on Amazon.
Yeah, I can do some research on how to do that. I don't know how to
Yeah,
do that.
I don't either.
I know Spotify and obviously we couldn't get on Pandora but I heard Pandora's a pain in the ass to get on. But we're on the other Pandora.
No,
They
it's
used to be cool.
Pandora.
Remember Pandora was the shit?
Yeah,
Well,
that's
like
because they're the
2010?
only one
Yeah.
music
Yeah.
stream out. Now
Otherwise,
that
you just be
Spotify
on
came
YouTube
out,
getting
Apple
rickrolled
Music.
all the time.
And I'll never forget.
You know,
I was.
remember how annoying
This,
this
I'm gonna
shit
tell,
was?
here's a true story. I was talking to my uncle. I was probably like 16, and I was like, "Hey," I was like, "Uncle," I'm not gonna say who it was. I was like, "I have this great idea." He's like, "What?" I was like, "We should invent a website where you can just have a bunch of music, and you can build playlists, and people can listen to your playlist." He's like, "That's a terrible idea."
Well, first of all, isn't that Napster? That was like when
No,
Napster
it was more
originally.
like-
You could do playlists on Napster.
It was
I think
more
you
like
download
it was like
music.
Oh,
it's like
you're right.
Spotify.
Yeah, it is Spotify.
I invented Spotify
That's fucking crazy.
before Spotify was Spotify.
You heard it here first.
I
folks.
invented it, and it got shut down. So you know what? We also had an idea to make a
I was just about to bring that up.
Yo What Up Comics ad.
We had this great idea for Yo What Up Comics ad. I don't know what we're gonna call it, but it could have been Where My Comics. I think would have been
You know
hysterical.
what? Fuck it. Let's still do it. I
All
don't give a
right,
fuck
that's
if there's
fine.
two out there.
Well, should we talk about it?
No, because someone's gonna steal our idea.
All right,
Because I'm gonna tell you
We're
right
gonna
now,
make something.
the version that I have that I actually am using, because I am trying to see exactly what I have when I go buy stuff. It's good, but it's confusing as fuck, and you got to pay for it.
it's all
so you
about
know
the
what?
UX. Well, people need to pay for it.
Yeah, but the one I found was $15 a year, and the other one was just $15 to buy. So you know what? We're doing $5.
Honestly, you do $5 and you do ads. You have people
Yeah.
play ads through it, so that way you have
100%.
the renewable income. So you do the $5 one-time charge because you need the upkeep to keep up with all the new comics.
Yeah. But you guys won't know what it is until we figure it out. But you're talking
I
to
think
Tom
we
this
pretty
week.
much gave it away.
No,
but-
we didn't.
No?
No, we didn't.
I don't get it if that helps.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You're meeting Tom this week.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to him
You're
on
gonna talk-
probably after we get back from the comic book shop. Shout out to Tom from MySpace, friend of the show.
Yeah?
Just bought a house, actually.
Colorado.
Yeah.
We gotta watch what's it called? Sam?
Wait, the
South
Tom?
Oh, I have your shit.
Yes, the classic Tom.
Wait, what?
MySpace Tom.
Tom from MySpace?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
You know him.
You're gonna,
Yes.
You're gonna meet him?
No, not like me.
No,
like,
no,
I'm
no,
gonna
no.
talk to him on the phone about the app. He does he can do that kind of stuff.
How'd you guys get that contact?
Wait.
Oh my god.
No.
Tom from MySpace.
You
No.
don't remember my friend Tom? Whenever
Didn't you
we
meet
used to
his friend
hang out,
Tom?
like 10 years ago, we all started hanging out. My
You-
friend
you were
Tom
there.
was always with us. And Ken was like, oh, Tom from MySpace.
Oh, I didn't know that's what you guys called him.
That's
Oh
what
my god. Dude, your
Talking about
face.
like the guy like this.
Yeah, no.
Tom, like, that's great.
I mean, I know people can't see me, but I'm pretending to be his
I
profile
know.
picture on MySpace.
I mean, your
Honestly,
face
like-
there, your face was
Oh,
classic.
dude, you guys kept saying Tom from MySpace.
Wait,
It confused
do
the
it
shit
again.
out
I'm
of
going to
me.
get a picture and we're going to grab it.
Really confusing. I'm sorry.
It's all right. But yes, we're gonna figure out this app, and you know what? And our app's gonna look cooler. It's gonna be cooler. It's gonna be Why Am I Nerd presents.
It should give you suggestions based on what you like and have.
100%.
Get. Oh.
You gotta stop talking about it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? But while we are talking about comics and like, things that are coming out, so we could probably talk about the September 16th releases.
From the 7. Because Dark Horse is still there.
Somehow. Literally a dark horse in this. From DC, we've got Batman 99, Detective Comics 1027 for $10.
You know why?
Why?
100th issue since the debut of the man, the G, the best comic book character ever created. Motherfucking the goddamn Batman.
The same one who just caused this whole pandemic by eating a bat in China?
I believe it came from a radioactive spider.
It literally did not. We'd have a very different virus. But we've also got Justice League number 53, Teen Titans number 45, Catwoman number 25, The Batman's Grave number 10. Oh yeah, he's the best of all time. He's got a whole comic book about his grave, huh? Metal
Remember when
Man
Spider-Man
number
got
10.
shot with a sleeping dart?
Remember when it's a incredibly lucrative?
But remember last
movie
week?
coming out?
Remember last week that you told me that Spider Sense always protects, but he got shot with a sleeping dart.
Yeah, it's
He
the
did
same
get-
way. It's
he
the same
did
way.
get
It's
shot
the
with
same
sleeping
way that Batman has this fucking. Oh, I've got infinite prep time.
But he
it's because
did.
it's because of writing. Writing
Okay.
intervenes. Spider Sense in its purest form
Oh, okay.
is invincible. That's why they have to come up with bullshit all the
Okay.
time.
Right, but
And a normal guy in a suit is nothing compared to a guy who can fly
But you
around and
can't
shoot
change
lasers
the
from his
rules of
eyes.
something that's
so the
fake.
writing makes it easier for Batman
You
to do
can't do
Batman
that.
things. I'm saying
You
the
can't do
writing
that.
That's 100% what happens. With
No,
everything.
okay.
Name one thing that the writing doesn't directly influence something, whether or not it makes sense. The
I don't know
powers.
what you're talking about. I don't know. What are you even saying?
I'd like to remind everyone that I took an edible by accident prior to this.
Hey, look, a squirrel.
I know there's not a squirrel. There's not even a window that side.
No, there is.
There was just a squirrel.
There was a squirrel.
Oh, now it's gone.
Shit, there is a window over there. Fuck.
All right. Anyway, from Dynamite, what do we got coming from Dynamite? Let's go.
Wow, this is a team up I actually didn't see coming. Vampirella and Red Sonja, number 10. I feel like that comic is out every single week. How are they only on issue 10? Deja Thoris, number 8.
Doesn't that sound like a dinosaur?
Yeah, 100%.
It's
Like
not.
it sounds like
It's a
something I would
chick.
see at Jurassic World.
It's a chick.
Would you go? I'm going to ask both of you guys. If Jurassic Park was a real place, would you go?
Like when they first opened, or just in general?
In general, like if it was just a theme park.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. Would you?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know if I would or not.
Well, that's because you're just like Spider-Man. You're a bitch.
No, my spider sense is going off, and I'm like, what if the
You couldn't
what if
sense
some
the
fat
squirrel.
dude needs? Well, the squirrel wasn't a threat. No one's lost a fight to a squirrel. Actually, that's not true.
Spider-Man did.
No, Doctor Doom did, but I don't like to talk about that because that was bullshit. That was again writing.
I
I
quit.
forgot what else I was gonna say.
Anyway.
Vampirella, Trial of the Soul. From Image, we've got Outcast number 46. Excuse me. There's the one for the episode. We've got Headlopper number 13 going for $6.
See, this is what I can't figure out. So we picked up for 5 and 5 this week. We picked up Ultraman, or whatever the hell it is, which was $7.
Yeah.
Where are they coming? Like, what the fuck is Headlopper? And why is it $6?
Can you look up what Headlopper is by any chance? Thank you.
I mean, this next comic, I don't know who would fucking name it that.
It's Big Girls number 2. From IDW, we've got Star Trek Year 5 number 14, G.I. Joe number 8, Goosebumps Secrets of the Swamp number 1. From Marvel, the House of Ideas, the greatest comic book company on the face of the planet, we've got X-Men number 12.
You can't say that because you openly agree with me all the time that DC actually is producing better comic books than Marvel.
Yeah, but Marvel's made more classic characters and has done better things over the longer term of time.
I'll call bluff on that.
It's not
but
bluff at
continue.
all.
It's just a different conversation.
The Super Friends.
Go.
We should do that, actually. We should have a court trial where, like, Ant's the judge, and we both have to plead our cases of who's better, Marvel versus DC, and why. We do it like an actual court trial. We can call in witnesses and stuff.
Okay.
That would get intense.
Right? Wouldn't that be
It'd be
cool?
kind of funny though. We're gonna rent out a courtroom.
I don't know. Is that possible?
Green
Probably not.
screen.
Yeah, there you go.
Facts. Yeah, we'll just right here.
Judge
That would
Anthony?
work. Yeah.
The Italian walks in. All rise for the Italian.
We'll have Sean do that. Oh my god!
What to find like? Never mind. I'm not gonna say it because it's probably. I can't probably fucking say it.
The Immortal
this
Hulk
world.
number 0. Did I ever say Venom number 28? If not, Venom 28. The Immortal Hulk number 37. What the fuck?
I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. I just was like,
So I
okay.
guess they're just releasing the prequel along with maybe the penultimate issue.
I don't know.
We've got Excalibur number 12, Captain America 23, Star Wars 6, Star Wars Darth Vader 5, Hellions 4, Thor 7, Giant Size X-Men Storm number 1, Iron Man number 1, Amazing Spider-Man Sins of Norman Osborn number 1, X-Men Marvel Snapshot number 1, Arrow number 11, Conan Battle for the Serpent Crown number 5, True Believers X-Men Havoc number 1, True Believers X-Men Magic number 1, True Believers X-Men Cypher number 1. From Dark Horse, we've got You Look Like Death, Tales from the Umbrella Academy number 1. From Boom Studios, we've got Once and Future number 11, Firefly number 20, Seven Secrets number 2, and Faithless 2 number 4.
So Headlopper says it's a comic book created by writer and artist Andrew Macklin. Currently published by Image Comics, the story follows the exploits of the Viking warrior Norgol, or Headlopper as some call him, and the severed head of Agatha the Blue Witch.
That's like you didn't play God of War.
I
The
did
new-
play
the
God.
new one?
No, not the new one.
The new one, he
this.
carries around like a little head with him the whole time. He just tells them stories.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's him, his son, his head. I forget the name of the head, but that sounds like the same thing. But again, why is it for $6?
Yeah.
You
Shouldn't
know.
be. I've never heard of it before now.
Yeah, but anyway, moving on to our Who
Wait, can I
Asked
get-
for This?
Sorry, what time are we at? Out of curiosity? I'm making a note of something.
17 minutes.
17 minutes in.
Of the day is none other than Slim Shady is ready to take him down. So, I have a question. Who the fuck thought Eminem versus the Punisher was a smart comic
Have you
idea?
ever been to 8 Mile?
This was a one-shot in XXL magazine.
That's why.
What?
That's a hip hop magazine.
Having the rapper and murderous superhero team up to take down one of the Punisher's villains who goes by the name of Barracuda. I don't really see why the Punisher would need Eminem's help for this task, especially since early in their story, the Punisher killed Eminem's bodyguard due to misunderstanding. If Eminem was able to help with this, why does he need bodyguards in the first place? And did he really need to be a 2-issue arc? To me, it seems like a cheap way to capitalize on Eminem's popularity at the time.
That's exactly what it is.
I mean, why? And when does this even come out?
Probably the early 2000s.
And when did
Eminem's dressed.
when did Eminem versus the Punisher come out? But this is a good point. Like, do you remember when they made the 50 Cent game?
Which one?
Like Blood and something or other, Blood and Sand, Blood and Truth,
Blood and Sand. is
Blood and
different.
something.
Wait, no, it's not. It's Fire and Blood. Whatever.
I don't know. But there's a
No,
fucking
Spartacus is Blood and Sand.
yes. Well, there's a 50 Cent video game where he just runs around and has massive amounts of weapons and just lights everybody up.
That's a pretty good deal, though.
Well, why is
Only half
Eminem
$1
doing
for a video game?
what? What?
Because it's a 50-cent video game.
Awful. Actually, did you figure it out?
Yeah, June 2009.
Was Eminem even at?
He was still... That's late, but he was still popular then.
Was he?
Eminem? He's always been pretty popular, but I feel like
nothing-
his like peak was like the early 2000s when he was all super controversial. He had the super bleached hair and all that.
The Slim Shady song.
He was pretty mad about them Netflix canceling The Punisher. He must be a big fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he made a big tweet about it.
What did the tweet say?
Dear Netflix, regarding your cancellation of The Punisher, you are blowing it. Sincerely, Marshall.
I mean, I can't really see Eminem like teaming up with anybody else.
Why does he need to team up with anyone? What is it like? He could team up with Cypher from the fucking X-Men to try and figure out a new rhyme, but like outside of that,
Look at so while we're still on, just scroll down to number 5.
all right, hang on one second. Oh no, I'm on the wrong one.
NFL Super Pro. Oh
Wait.
my God.
Wait, I feel like I remember that. Hang on, I'm scrolling.
He's like
He's
kicking
going
this
wild.
guy's head off.
Yeah, he really is.
The Life of Pope John. These are just really fucking. What is this? Guiding light. Crossover of the popular soap opera. They turned a soap opera into the mix of Wolverine and Spider-Man. Wow, this is just bad. Did you see Nightcat? Look at that one. That was fucking risky as fuck.
I was about to read.
And then, of course, the Marvel swimsuit edition. Which,
oh, wow.
Why?
We discussed that before.
I know, but it just doesn't make any
Yeah.
fucking sense. So, you know what? I fucking hate comics sometimes because they're just so fucking weird.
Can we talk about going back to NFL Super Pro real quick?
He's kicking a guy's head off.
A chronic headache having failed football player. Yeah, a chronic headache having failed football player becomes a superhero after inhaling chemicals from a fire which destroyed a bunch of football memorabilia. Yeah, that somehow gives you superpowers. Hopefully O.J. Simpson never lights any of his old jerseys on fire. I thought that was hysterical.
Awful.
Like, that's what Screen Rant
Awful.
says. Or, no, it's what, drunken pen writing?
Drunken pen writing, 10 weirdest comic book comics. You got it. But you know what? I'm still going to go with Slim Shady and the fucking Punisher. As nobody fucking asked for that.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I found an article talking about Eminem and how much he loved comics. I mean, you don't have to discuss it right now, but I'll show
No,
it
go
to you
for
later.
it. We're on the topic.
Yeah.
What's it say?
Pretty much says that Eminem's love of comics is a topic discussed by many. It has been covered in interviews and articles throughout his career. In this story, I will try to tell the tale of how Stan the Man Lee influenced the life of martial rap god Mathers. When you hear about Eminem's addiction to comics, first thing that comes to mind is the Eminem Punisher Kill You feature, or the special issue of the Mighty Adventures with Eminem sitting beside Iron Man on the
What?
porch of Marshall's childhood home. And here's that picture right here.
Why would...
What the fuck is that?
It's like really good art, too.
It
Like,
is.
What the fuck? Like, that's like a waste of good art.
Yo. We love comics. We don't have no fucking article written about us.
Well, we're not famous yet. We'll look back on this in like a year. Like, remember we weren't famous? Now we got hover chairs to do our show in.
True, and we have every comic that just shipped us. So, I mean, we'll still go out and buy and support. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but just for the culture, like just send us.
And we have a new issue of we're going to be doing a 47 and 10 this Saturday. I'm really
yeah, that's right.
really
It's coming
excited.
out. It's a new month.
I'm going to go drop $200 on a fucking Batman action figure.
Does it talk?
Doesn't matter.
Wouldn't it be cool if it did though?
Furby doesn't know.
Furby did talk.
Yeah, but Furby was fucking scary.
Yeah,
I think it's
when you
possessed,
go on
so
a
no,
little
I don't want
Batman,
to.
What if you could get like Batman ADT for like your house? Like someone breaks in, it's like there's an intruder in the Batcave.
I would do that in a second.
But like,
Really weird that you.
Are you showing the waves thing?
Yeah. You saw that?
I
Oh,
sent
can we
it to
discuss
him.
that?
You did?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, I
damn.
forgot. Guess-
I forgot
wait a
to
minute.
text you.
Guess what's next Friday?
The 100th anniversary of Batman.
It's Batman Day. I think it's on
How?
Friday.
How?
Hey,
is
when's
that
Batman Day? I think
how
it's
is that
Friday.
Batman Day?
Because guess what? Batman is the greatest. And I think it's next Friday. Does Spider-Man
But
have a
why
day?
is that his
Nope.
day?
Spider-Man doesn't have a day. Batman has a day.
September 21st.
What day is that? Next Friday, right?
Oh, wait.
No.
No, it's next Monday.
Today's the
2
10th.
Mondays.
No, I'm sorry. Now this is saying the 19th.
It's the 19th. It's Batman Day.
But why? It's still in 2
It's
weeks.
Saturday.
Oh, it is next week.
But it doesn't matter.
But why?
Batman has a day. That's why we made last week's episode about Spider-Man.
It's also Rosh Hashanah that day.
I don't give a fuck
can't.
about Rosh Hashanah.
Batman's Jewish.
What?
Yeah.
He's not Jewish.
Super Jewish, bro.
You can't tell me he's Jewish. The fuck is wrong with you?
He's got a yarmulke under the
No,
cowl.
he doesn't.
Yeah, it's got a little...
You ever seen Spider-Man's head?
I mean, when he
It's
takes
like a
his
little
mask
bump.
off. No, it's Deadpool.
No.
Deadpool's got the little head tail thing
Oh
going on.
my god. So this week's issue of Why Am I Nervous in Jonah Comics, we're gonna do an audible because we have completed our task of finishing
Ugh.
The Boys. So instead of going to our Hot of the Press, courtesy of the Planet Bugle, we're gonna go straight to our featured comic of the week. So we may talk about what's on the press, or we may just move what's on the press to next episode. Because I want to take my time to discuss this because goddamn Garth Ennis I like your stuff, but what in the actual fuck happened with this story?
It went completely off the rails. I feel like he was like, I had a really good idea, and he had fun writing it for a little bit, and then he was kind of like, oh, this has to make sense for some reason, and just threw some shit together, and then that was it.
I mean, it was. This is. I've been excited to dive into this. I feel a little,
for how long it is, I feel cheated by the ending.
Well, let's take this piece by piece first. So we actually have show notes this time. We did take show notes. So we're going to start with, I guess, Matt, why don't you just go for it? So now, we read these in omnibus form. So just so everyone know, Omnibus 5 had volumes 9 and 10, and Omnibus 6 had volumes 11 and 12. So, look, I understand you ate an edible, but you know the rules. What are you doing?
If it's the omnibus, we'll just read the back of the omnibus instead of each individual chapter, and we'll save the...
What chapter?
Did you want me to read the
Yeah, but I think it's the same description that's on there.
No, dude, this is way longer. There's like...
Okay.
The volumes are so much...
So anyway, Volume 9 came out in November 2011. Volume 10 came out March 2012. 11 came out June 2012. And 12 came out December 2012. So here we go. The Boys, our final review. We're going to tackle this once and for all.
The long-dreaded superhuman conflict is on its way. The shockwaves from the boys' first encounter with the Seven still reverberate today, and Huey discovers the history of his comrades' clandestine war when original leader Colonel Greg Mallory takes him through half a century of the filthiest black operations imaginable. With both good and bad guys teetering on the brink, a shadowy force sets events into motion that will push even Butcher over the edge. And Butcher? He could have been a very different man. When the love of a good woman pulled him aside from his path of violence and despair. This is the story of Billy and Becky, told by the man himself. From the backstreets of London's East End to the carnage of the Falklands War. From heights of love to the depths of tragedy. And when he's done, he'll be ready to finish things once and for all. See how much better that was? Like that was in one paragraph.
All right, so this is The Boys Volume 5 we're referencing, which again is Omnibus Volume 5, which takes place volumes, 9 and 10. So this one, again, I feel like anytime they bring in a backstory of a character, it could have been done. Yeah, like even the Butcher Becky thing, I skimmed it. Just like I did with the Huey thing.
Honestly, I would have rather they just said it at one point. Like, I would have gotten the point. Like, I didn't need to see his whole backstory. Like,
yeah.
I get, like, it was sad. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying it wasn't well written. It just didn't need to be there. It was just taking up space and just taking me out of the main storyline. Because every time they do something like that, I find myself needing to go back in my head and be like, wait, what was the last thing that happened? Like, how far was I?
Right.
Like, remember what's going on with Vaught and the boys and, you know.
So, full 100% disclaimer, this is going to be a massive spoiler with what I'm about to say. So if you do not want to know what could potentially happen in the show, cover your ears.
To be fair, though, I highly doubt most of the events in these two books come to play in the show.
Black Noir is going to be
no. There's a reason. I have something to contest that.
Okay. So anyway, with Butcher's wife, she gets raped by who you assume is Homelander, but you actually later find out.
Wait, is it? That's not the next one. That is this one.
It's this one. So you find out that this whole time Black Noir is actually.
You find that out in the next one.
Yes, you find out in the last one, but Butcher's wife gets raped by Homelander. What you end up finding out,
she gets pregnant by Homelander, and the baby is so powerful, the fetus literally tears its way out from Butcher's wife, and obviously killing her.
Correct, and it was fucking weird because you start to see in this book that Homelander's kind of forgetting that he did all this shit. He's like crying in a bathroom at one point. He's like questioning Vaught America, like Wazoo. He's like,
when he has that whole conversation in the mirror, like he's the fucking Green Goblin in the 2002 Spider-Man. Yeah,
that was weird.
Nice. Yeah, but it was really weird. It didn't come off like
natural
in a good way. Yeah, it
seemed
very
forced.
Cheap. Yeah,
and he starts to question the things that he's done between blowing up planes, forgetting, not remembering why the Butcher Billy hates him so much. And at one point, not that I felt bad for him, but I was kind of like, damn, this guy's kind of fucking losing it.
Yeah.
Because you end up finding out that obviously these guys, any superhero thinks they were born this way, but they're not. They've been injected with compound V when they're a kid. Raynor, who is Butcher's boss, ends up running for a Senate seat, and they bring in the monkey. A monkey, they call him. I say the monkey.
And we find out why Monkey got his nickname. Because
he gets fucked in the ears.
Both ears at the same
time by two monkeys.
And they're green?
Yeah, and you don't find that out until the next issue when you meet Peculiar or whatever the fuck his name was.
Dr. Peculiar,
So they introduce you to a new character, like you said, Miss Bradley, who ends up taking over the seat of the guy who
Stillwell?
Yes, Stillwell is the guy that watches over
the boy.
The seven.
Excuse me.
So she's brought in to fill his seat. She finds that they run a simulation because they Stillwell is pretty much like, hey, the boys and the seven are gonna fight. Figure out who wins. And 82% of the time, it says that the only two people standing are Black Noir and Homelander, which shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody because maybe the Black Noir is a little bit of a surprise because he doesn't really do anything fucking weird except shove his thumb up into his what's his face's ass.
Yeah, they do light things to reference that he's a clone though.
Yeah, who?
They do a couple things. Wait.
Okay, so Black Noir is a clone version of Homelander. There you go. Now we can openly talk about it. We didn't say it.
I thought we didn't say it?
We didn't say it. You said talk about the next thing, but you just said it. So, yes.
My bad.
Under the mask, Black Noir is the Homelander. So all the fucked up shit that Homelander has done in this book was actually Black Noir.
Yeah, just going out as Homelander, but it didn't make sense because the whole reason that Black Noir was created was because they needed like an insurance policy on the Homelander. But Black Noir is seemingly less intelligent than the Homelander because he can barely talk.
He just laughs.
Yeah, and then he's like, I did something. It's like, it's weird. It doesn't land very well. It doesn't feel like a cool thing, and it doesn't really explain anything about Black Noir, other than the fact that they did hint at it a few times that he's like basically indestructible.
Which we'll talk about that in a little bit, about that scene. You also get introduced finally to Mallory, who is the original leader of the boys. Yeah. When I must have skipped this. I don't know why Huey went to see him.
Mother's Milk set it up basically.
Okay.
Whereas he told, you remember the British guy that Huey was friends with? He's like, I'm out here with my wife, and let's have sandwiches. That's Mallory.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
So, MM sent Mallory after Huey, and then...
So you pretty much meet about Mallory, and Mallory was the original leader of the boys who recruits Butcher after he finds out about Butcher's wife dying. Excuse me. Greg Mallory is his name, and explains, too, that Compound V actually slows your aging down. So he looks probably like he's in his 50s or 60s, 50 or 60, but he's 91. And then... he tells the story about how Mallory's granddaughters were killed by the lamplighter, which is weird because, first of all, is lamplighter supposed to be Green Lantern?
Yeah.
Okay. So pretty much Mallory ends up getting involved with becoming the boys and stopping it because of his granddaughter's dying. So just like every other superhero, everyone in this story that's involved is because somebody that they loved was killed by a soup. You eventually find out, too, that Soldier Boy and the Avenging Squad...
that was funny.
Which was pretty bad.
That was the point, though. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. That Mallory wanted to recruit people who all had that same background because they'd be stuck in it. It wouldn't just be a job for them. He wanted people who had that passion to go through it.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch that. But you meet Soldier Boy for the first time in the Avenging Squad, which is obviously a knockoff of the Avengers, who... ends up being Payback, but they all get killed and then recloned. They never explain it. They never explain it.
Not even close.
This is when you meet Dr. Peculiar, who is obviously a knockoff of Doctor Strange.
Yep.
And he's beyond that level. And he has pet monkeys who, like you said, are green, who you find out that the boys are investigating the death of Laddie Boy, which
What?
Laddie Boy. That's why they go there because Jack was framed.
No, I think.
Yeah, Jack.
Are you sure it's Laddie Boy and not Lady Boy?
Lady Boy. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I said it wrong.
Because Laddie Boy's a different character. That's
Is
why
it?
I was like, or Laddie-O.
Laddie-O.
like in Tech
Yeah.
Knights
So
and
Lady
stuff.
Boy.
I was like,
So
what?
Jack was accused of killing Lady Boy, but you never actually find out if
No, you never actually find out what. No, actually, yes, you do. I take that back.
you do.
Because who's the chick who took over Vought from Stilwell? Beverly?
Bradley.
Bradley.
Miss Bradley.
Bradley's like, why don't we just try pitting the 7 against the boys? And
You're right,
have
yeah.
them take care of it. She planted that.
So they're investigating that, which eventually Jack gets so pissed off that he does the inevitable and he kills Terror. Because he thinks
fucked up.
that
like, 'cause
Butcher.
Terror's
did
actually
it.
a really fun character. Like
He's just there. Never did anything.
He did some shit.
No, but like he doesn't get himself in any trouble. He's just like hanging out, fucking other dogs and doing stuff. But like
Well, he fucked
the
Monkey
way-
too. Remember that? Which is weird as shit.
yeah, so Butcher
Like-
captures Monkey and has Terror fuck him in the ass.
Yeah, which like
Which is Terror's a dog. He's a bulldog.
is bulldog. Yeah.
What I didn't like about that was you knew Terror wasn't going to make it at the end. You knew something was going to happen.
No, honestly, I thought Terror was going to be like the only one who did. I didn't think anybody like. I guess you have to figure 1 or 2 of them die.
Yeah.
But
But the way they do it was so weird because literally everyone goes upstairs, up on the roof. They leave Terror down there in the room. Jack runs off after Butcher and Homelander kind of say like, "Hey, there's something weird going on here. Like maybe we should team up." And they're kind of like, "Yeah, fuck that. Like maybe we were right, but no, absolutely not." So they don't. They go back downstairs, and Terror's just dead. And you don't know how. He's just dead. I think there's like a little bit of blood on the ground coming from his mouth. And Butcher's just like, all right, I gotta go. And just leaves.
yeah.
Doesn't go up to the dog. The female goes up to the dog and sits next to it.
And he was
cries.
like, "Oh, the weed dog,
Yeah.
the weed dog,"
Yep.
and I'm like, "Huey, shut the."
And
fuck
Butcher's
up.
just like, don't give a fuck. No,
Yeah.
not that he doesn't give a fuck, but he's like, I'm pissed. So he pretty much goes, finds Jack, and stabs him millions and millions of times to the point of his
Just
guts are
asking,
hanging
Why'd
out.
you kill my dog? Why'd you
Yep.
kill my dog? Why'd you kill my dog? Why'd you kill my dog?
And
Which like it doesn't hit
I don't
the way
think-
it should.
Because I think Jack didn't do it.
Probably didn't, but he did kill the dog.
What?
Oh, you think he didn't kill the dog?
I don't think he killed the dog. Because he never says it. If you're getting stabbed a million times, your guts are hanging out,
Yeah.
or you're eventually gonna say he never. He kind of says like, "What? Like, what are you talking about?" Like he's like, "I didn't like." He never did. So
Yeah.
I don't think Jack killed Terror.
I could see that if Vought just had the dog killed.
Yeah.
Damn.
You also find out that the legend fucks Maeve,
Good for him.
which was extremely weird. You find out that Maeve is actually the undercover. She's the one
You found
planning.
that out earlier.
Yeah, I don't know if we had actually mentioned it last episode,
true.
but she's the one that actually plants all the bugs. So I don't know why the legend fucks Maeve. I don't.
I think just because she was young and hot and he was like
The man.
powerful. Yeah.
There's actually a cover they show in this on the big ride, and it makes fun of famous comic book images. I don't know if
Yeah.
did you catch that one? It's like every famous comic book cover, it just has a naked man on it, and it's really awkward.
And
Yeah.
catch that they were naked.
What? There's dick all over the place.
I mean, maybe I'm just thankfully blind to it. I have no idea.
How did
I
you
thought were
miss
talking
it?
I thought we were talking about the Dark Knight Returns cover, where it's Butcher kicking Batman off the cliff.
No, you didn't see it.
Ugh, God, I don't know if I want to.
I gotta find out where the hell it is. It was so. This is the whole Butcher story. I will give this book though credit that the artwork in it is really good.
Yeah, the artwork improved a lot with this one.
Anyway, as I'm looking for this, the other thing that was kind of weird was that Butcher had a brother, Lenny.
Yeah, so there's only 2 people.
So
in
here's
Butcher's life that he felt like.
how Monkey gets his name.
Yep.
And so you can see it. The guy's getting fucked in the ear by 2 monkeys.
The fuck?
Exactly.
So what? But again, Butcher's brother Lenny. What was that? What was the deal with him? Was he sick?
He died from something, an accident.
Okay, so here's the cover. The big ride.
Okay.
Here, take the book. I don't need it. And look at all the little pictures in the background. You're going to tell me you can't see Dick and Dick and Dick.
Yes. Okay. That's weird. Now that I'm looking, I see what the images are supposed to be.
See it? It's like every famous. There's like
never noticed
final. I think
that before.
what
I did not notice
I think
this at all.
Infinity Crisis is on there. The one on the top. I think the one on the top right is the Batman, the first issue, Detective Comics 27 when he's swinging. Unless it's supposed to be Spider-Man, I
I
can't
think
tell.
that's Spider-Man. I think there's another one that I thought was Spider-Man too. This one's Superman with the car.
Yeah, it's weird. This just further explains why on Earth.
This one's Spider-Man. Yeah.
Which one's Spider-Man?
This one is, but I think that one might be too. Both of these
I
are.
thought, yeah, because I've seen it. I know. No, that might be.
That might be the Hulk, actually.
Yeah, it is. But I definitely think that the one on the top right is supposed to be
I
the
think-
Batman 27,
I think that's Spider-Man.
Detective Comics 27. But I
It's
could be
Amazing
completely
Fantasy
wrong.
number 15, bro.
Whatever. So that, on the other hand, wraps up our tale on The Boys Volume 5.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say.
But now we're going to get into the nitty gritty of the last volume of The Boys, Compendium number 6, volumes 11 and 12. And we are going to officially give you our final review. But before we do that, here's a quick word from our sponsor.
Why Am I a Nerd podcast network has been brought to you by our sponsor, Me Moms. The best breakfast and lunch down the Jersey Shore with 3 great locations in Wall Township, Middletown, and Brick, New Jersey. Me Moms specializes in unique and fun takes on your traditional lunch and breakfast items. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can find more information at www.memoms.com.
Okay. Final book, final thoughts, final review.
The boys prepare for one last terrible battle as the Homelander sets an army of superheroes against the forces of the United States military. Battle rages at the White House. Frenchie and the female are unleashed, and Huey faces his own terrors, while MM races against time to uncover the most dreadful secret of Vaught-American superhero program. Butcher steps willingly into the jaws of death, but what he finds waiting for him is beyond his darkest dreams.
So,
Oh, sorry.
What?
I was
You got
taking a
more?
breath.
Oh,
there's
okay, sorry.
There's a couple more sentences. I was like, it's going.
my bad, bro.
It's going. And when the guns fall silent.
Dude,
The
that's
boys
actually
are-
a really cool song name. You should sing that line. And when
When
the guns fall silent.
silent. Yo, that actually would be, yo, kind of
bro.
like, ooh, yeah. That's what we should call this episode. And
Fuck
when
yeah.
the guns fall silent.
It's like, what's that song? You know what I'm talking about. You know that song I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
totally.
Bro, you totally know the song. It's the song by Disturbed.
Cut
The
my
Sound of
life
Silence?
into
No, The Sound of
pieces.
Silence.
Silence?
Yep.
Oh, wait, that's
And
on
Yeah.
the
Disturbed.
guns fall silent.
There you go. See?
True.
Anyway.
And when the guns fall silent, the boys are caught in the last throes of the battle they were recruited to fight. Huey, all on his own and out of luck, finds himself walking down one last bloody trail. And the truth he finds at the end of it will be nothing short of shattering. Billy Butcher's vengeance comes in full circle in this final entry in the story of the boys.
All right, so we have
It's actually a typo.
we have show notes here.
This
So
is
let
story off
let's
the boys.
Does it really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Let's tackle this article by the show notes here, so we don't jump ahead because we already did spoil the one topic of Homelander. And,
Yeah, sorry,
Dr.
it had to be
but
done.
We're gonna tackle it. So right off of that back of the bat in this story, the president gets mauled by a Wolverine,
Yeah.
and I was just like, "What?"
Like, why were all the kids in there? And of course, it was fucking Vic the Veep's fault.
Yeah. And Vic the Veep is obviously who they've been trying to get, who Vaught America's been trying to get
into
as
the office.
the office because he's essentially.
An idiot.
Can I get real controversial for a second?
I don't know if you should, because I know what you're going to
choose
say.
your
but you
words
shouldn't- I
wisely.
know what you're going to say, but you should not say it. You should not say
Should
it.
Matt say it? Let's put it that way.
So then they introduce Team Titanic, That's who I think is supposed to be the Teen Titans. I remember last week you thought Super Dupe was supposed to be the Teen Titans.
Well, then who are Super? They might be. No, you know what they are? They're the Legion of Super Friends or whatever.
Yeah,
that future team.
That Team Titanic, I think, is supposed to be
the Teen Titans. That would make sense.
At which I don't remember who. So they send the Titans to go fight Titanic to go fight the boys.
Yeah.
And they always get fucking destroyed.
Yeah. And they're like, this is,
there's like no hope. There's like no
they
fight.
make a mention at one point too. They're like, I can't even believe they're sending scrubs like this after us. Like, we don't want more than
yeah. So that was the thing with this book that I thought was weird. Was like there was just so much fucking dialogue, and there was like not enough like action.
It did not balance well. The story didn't get wrapped up well. I mean, the whole thing just felt like, whatever, here's the last stuff I've got in stock. Like, just want to be done writing.
Because this is really when you find out that Homelander wants to seize, he says, I want to seize power of Vought America. He wants to be in charge of Vought America. He's trying to fucking wipe it all down and whatever and just, take over. Essentially, he wants to be like...
The king of the world.
He wants to be like Superman in Injustice.
Yeah.
So, I didn't understand this part either. So eventually, Butcher goes out of his way and somehow kidnaps A-Train, who's supposed to be extremely fast.
Yeah. I mean, he's also pretty dumb.
Yeah. Because Huey, A-Train's who kills Huey's girlfriend in the beginning. And Huey wants out of the boy. He's like, I'm done with this. I don't want... He actually says that he would stay with it, but he just doesn't want to kill anybody anymore. So Butcher goes out of his way to bring A-Train to the roof, brings Huey up there, and pretty much plays a tape. Yeah. And it's very similar to what Butcher does to Huey with finding out who Annie is. He knows it is. He knows who Annie is, so he makes Huey watch the tape of Annie.
It's fucked up.
Fucking,
He's very manipulative.
Yeah. So Butcher ends up playing this tape back of A-Train talking shit about Huey's girlfriend at the time and not really cares about killing her.
Yeah.
To get Huey worked up to eventually kick off A-Train's head like a fucking soccer player.
Yeah.
And I thought that I understood what they were trying to do with it, but I felt like
it didn't land well.
Yeah, because I think no pun intended to where the head landed, but I think because the problem was that they never really said Huey was like... Throughout the book, you never hear about Huey really getting upset about his girlfriend anymore.
Every once in a while when she comes up, and there was the one time
but it's not like a prominent thing.
But when they had to meet with them to decide if they were going to team up or not, like when the whole thing went down for Jack from Jupiter, Huey's staring down A-Train the entire time.
Right, but it wasn't consistent.
Agreed.
It was kind of like here and there. Yeah, and like even when he he gets upset about it, he's not like ever mad. He's like, oh, he cries, wee.
Jinx.
Yeah, so it's like he's never like, oh, fuck that guy.
I don't ever want to know what jinx means, but like, god damn it, if he would stop saying it.
Yeah. There was actually parts where I actually changed some of his words to like, I think he used Keen as like now.
I thought Keen was like, would you like to or would you?
But there was a word,
like,
I replaced it with another word and it made sense.
Yeah.
But then you get to Maeve and Homelander, and this is where it got weird for me. Maeve and Homelander got into a confrontation.
Right.
And Annie leaves. She runs away.
She gets thrown away. Queen Maeve throws her off the building.
And, which she can fly, so she kind of just takes off. And then Homelander decapitates Maeve.
Right.
Was it Homelander?
Yeah.
Or was it Black Noir?
No, that was Homelander. Because
I was like, who is this? But at the time, I was like, okay, it's Homelander, but this is weird because you don't find out about Black Noir until later. At which you end up finding out that Butcher is the one that sets the whole thing up because he lets the cat out of the bag. So he's the one that kind of, I think, says like, hey, Vladimir, he's the one who tells Homelander, you're not super, you were created by these motherfuckers over here.
Well, that and he released all the videos of him literally eating infants and other human beings.
Which you find out is indeed Black Noir.
Right.
Not the Homelander.
But like, I don't even understand. Like, when did they set that up? Like, when, like, what happened there? Was
So
he
did
just,
Butcher know the whole time that Black Noir was Homelander?
No, he had no idea.
Right. So, but he just so he just somehow got the tapes. Butcher put the videos out of Homelander eating the babies.
Right.
So Butcher got the tapes eventually.
He had the tapes the whole time. That was
Right.
that was what they had on.
But he was
Homelander. That
never
their
able.
leverage
He
the
was
whole time.
never able to tell that it wasn't Homelander.
He did know it was Homelander.
No, he thought it was Homelander. It was
Right.
Black Noir.
Right.
But Butcher thought it was Homelander.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is Butcher was never able to say, "Wait a minute, this."
How would you know it was Black Noir?
Oh, you're saying Black Noir never got out of the suit?
Yeah. Like, nobody knows what Black Noir looks like.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I kind of thought like maybe he'd be like, "This is a little strange," rather than just being like, "Hey, here's this guy that just eats babies."
Well, I mean, they just had like backstory on Homelander. They just thought he was nuts, like drunk on power.
He does kill Vic DeVeep because Vic DeVeep becomes the president, and how does Homelander kill him?
Vic the Veep?
Yeah.
I don't know, but at one point they make note that he fucked the back of his head.
Black Noir did?
No,
Or
Homelander
Homelander?
did.
This is where the story gets confusing
It
because you're
was
like,
act-
who
that
the
was-
fuck?
That was actually Homelander. I think the main difference is if it was Black Noir, he wouldn't be talking because Black Noir seems to have issues with the, English language.
Yeah, he can't
So,
speak at all.
Yeah. So, like, I think anytime there's something relatively eloquent or even just sane said by Homelander, we can assume it's Homelander.
Okay, so then, fair enough. So then before we get to this weird topic, so pretty much what happens next is that you find out that Black Noir is a Homelander's clone. And hold on, I spelled that name wrong. It's supposed to be something else, but I'll tell you in a second. So you find out that Black Noir is Homelander's clone, and Butcher's kind of like, what the fuck? Because
Yeah.
Black Noir
And
walks
he's
in.
like, well, I'm out.
So Butcher
Like-
runs out of the White House. They're fighting in the White House. Butcher runs out, and he's like, yo, he pretty much gets to the military's outside, and it's like, hey, shit's about to go down now. And Black Noir comes out looking like Homelander, just with Homelander's pieces of his body. He might have his foot,
I think
his
he's got
torso.
Most of his torso, yeah.
But like, you never see them fight. You don't know have any clue. So you're gonna tell me that Garth Ennis, you were able to write all this. You were able to draw, create,
Well, he
and write, like come up with the concept of all this fucking, but you couldn't put together the most probably epic fight scene you could have came up with.
Yeah.
Was Black Noir and Homelander fighting? You come up with nothing. You just have him walk out of the White House, and then he gets
It's super.
then he gets
anticlimactic.
lit up
Yep.
to the point where he's like.
Somehow hurts him.
Yeah, which somehow hurts him, but he's supposed to be the strongest like human in the world
Even
or a
though he's so
superhero.
fucked up from that fight. It's just like, what the hell is like?
I think it's like and then they do something. They like light up his face, so where his face is like half off, and then Butcher just walks up to him with a crowbar and rips his like jaw from his mouth
Yeah.
up off clean, and that's how he dies.
Yeah.
And that's how the story should have it probably ended, but it doesn't. That's just how the soups are written off.
Yep.
And then it becomes the most
It doesn't
these
make-
last 6 issues. So first of all, this is actually supposed to say Nancy Pelosi is the president, which I thought was kind of weird
How did you get that to Owlish?
because it probably can't. It probably edited it.
I was like excited.
No,
to
I thought that was weird. I thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah,
And I was
I
like,
didn't catch
yeah,
that.
she,
I
that,
actually
that
did not
is
catch
so.
that.
You find out that Stormfront is, I guess, a product of, or Homelander is a product of Stormfront's DNA,
Right.
which Stormfront is the big German
Nazi guy.
guy
Yeah.
who they change in the show
Be
significantly,
like a chick, yeah.
but it's not even the same girl. It's kind of weird. You find out that Mother's Milk's daughter, who is a prostitute and making
She's
pornos.
making mother-daughter porn with her crackhead mother, which
Yep.
is like,
And she's actually 12, but she looks
Yeah.
like she's 25
What the
because
fuck?
Compound V slows down your aging. But somehow her aging sped up.
no, it slows down your aging once you hit, I think, peak.
Oh, is that what it
Like,
was?
I think that's what it is because, like, even what's his face? They make a note that Homelander aged really quickly.
Okay. So Eminem, you find that out, and then he goes to talk to he ends up getting in touch with his daughter, and she's like, I'll be fine, don't worry about me, yada, yada, yada. At which you find out that the female actually can speak because she says something.
Oh yeah, she does. That didn't even hit me.
She says,
Should've.
She says, like, I hate bad people. And I was like, okay, she speaks. Cool. And then the twist happens. Is that Butcher goes off to kill every single person in the boys.
Yeah.
Starting with Mother's Milk.
No. Did he get Vlad first?
Yeah, I'm not considering him in the boys.
Or Voss,
He's a
what's his
suit.
name? Yeah.
He
was on their side.
That's how it starts. Like, because it was Voss. It was Love Sausage.
Yeah.
So Love Sausage has a guy hanging in the room he's in. I don't know who was
I
hanging.
don't know. Yeah, I didn't get that. either.
And then Butcher goes in with a fucking rocket launcher and blows him away.
Yeah.
I think they say he like cuts him in half and he ends up like dying like
yeah,
that
it takes
way.
him like hours or something to die.
And I was kind of like, where are they going with this? Why? And then he goes and gets into a fight with Mother's Milk, ends up killing him. Which I forget how he kills Mother's Milk. Because he just beats the shit out of him to the point where he dies.
No, it's like they're fighting, and then Butcher sacrifices his own hand with a grenade and explodes it next to Mother's Milk's face.
But somehow Butcher doesn't blow up.
Only his like arm gets fucked up. His arm doesn't even. He only loses like 3 fingers.
Right. But it's a grenade in his hand.
Yeah.
No sense. Doesn't make any sense. Then he goes and he kills. He blows up Frenchie.
Yeah.
And the female.
Because he wasn't gonna be able to take them hand to hand.
No, not at all. So he blows them up, and then you find out throughout this whole time that Bradley has actually been set up to take the fall.
Yep.
This entire time, she was just a. And what's funny is that they do this. I'll give him credit for this. He does a really good job of the guy that Bradley has Stillwell. He does a really good job with going back to things that Stillwell said in the comics prior.
Yeah.
And if you had really paid attention to it and listened,
was like setting it up. Yeah.
and you could have probably picked up on it. And I didn't. I was like, wow, that was actually probably the best thing you did. It was like the way he tied that arc together. I thought was really cool.
I agree.
You know, because then Bradley's like ripping her hair out. She takes the fall for Vaught America and the soups and all that shit. And she gets, because he's pretty much like, hey, I need a puppet. And this girl wants to be She's pretty much Annie to him, what Annie was to Vaught America at the time. And then Butcher and Huey meet because Butcher's about to blow up, I guess, the whole city.
The Empire State Building, I think. I don't know. Something.
Because Butcher's
something
trying to
weird.
get rid of anybody that has Compound V and has a suit because of them killing his wife. So somehow.
Or unless, was that like the homing mechanism or whatever? The bombs that'll automatically
Blow up
kill
everyone's
anyone
head?
that has it? Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Because you find out, which is brought to your attention in volume 2
Yeah.
when they go to Russia and you
Yeah, I
first meet
think
Love
so.
Sausage. So somehow Huey tries to fight Butcher, which fails miserably, and Huey ends up falling out of a window, and Butcher finds the need to grab him.
Yeah.
And then the window shatters. They both fall. Huey gets impaled by the spike on the fence.
Yeah.
And somehow Butcher is sitting up, paralyzed.
Yeah. Doesn't
Can't
make
move.
sense.
Can't do anything. But he happened to fall perfectly seated against a brick wall. And he's just like, I can't move, so
He's
whatever.
Like, yeah. And he basically goads Huey into killing him so he doesn't have to die that way.
Yep. He pretty much tells Huey, I killed your mother, I killed your father, yada, yada, yada. And Huey ends up stabbing him.
And then Huey calls his mom and was like, oh, you're okay?
Yeah. And Butcher's kind of like, finally made you do it.
Yeah.
So at the end, it has a happy tale where, Huey and Annie end up finding each other and coming together. I don't understand what Huey's doing at the end. Like, is he still a part of the boys? He's just walking around.
Wrapping things up, I guess. I don't know. It was weird.
So I guess final thoughts on this book.
Don't read it. Look at real. Don't read it.
It bored you that much still? No, I'm yawning.
Yeah, so it's
Fuck.
contagious.
Yeah, it was.
It got, it has too many lows.
Now you're yawning. Started with you, went to me, then went to Aunt. Look,
too many lows, not enough highs.
this book probably could have been cut in half by like half. It probably only needed to be 3 omnibuses instead of 5
I
or
agree.
instead of 6. I think the big thing is, like we said, it was too wordy. The story didn't move quick enough. There wasn't enough action to back up the word. Everybody's yawning again. Fuck you, Ant.
I didn't do that.
You yawned first.
I hit it. I went like this.
No, I saw you do it. Now
put my
Matt's
hand- I
yawning.
put my hand in front of
oh
my
my
mouth.
god, this book is that bad. I mean, you're also fucking 3 sheets to the wind.
He's also out of the camera.
What did we talk about last time you were stoned out of your fucking mind doing this?
So, one last time, this is why my nerd.
What? You can't
about
steal
your
my thing.
shenanigans?
You
Oh,
can't
shit.
take me. This
No.
is that's my line.
Shenanigans.
My fault. The Shenanigans Engine this week.
Is everything about this fucking book.
I mean, you're not wrong. The writing was really bad, but no. It's the potion that turned the Sentry into the Sentry, because Sentry's like a regular dude. Drank this
A
random
dude
thing
dressed
from-
as a dude, acting as a dude, playing a dude that's another dude
Disguised as
inside of a
another
dude.
dude.
Inside
So-
of a dude. That's weird.
Sentry ends up finding this potion that some scientist made, drinks it, and gets the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns. 1,000,000. I'm like, that's the most ridiculous power of all time. Like, that's such an insane amount of power. Completely unnecessary, and from some potion some guy made in a lab. Ridiculous. Shenanigans.
That is dumb. That is dumb.
It's bad.
So I guess now that we've made it through this, it only took us like 5 weeks to get to this. I actually haven't read a comic book since I finished this because I just needed a fucking break.
Same.
What are we reading? Are we doing it? Are we doing?
Ultimates, I think.
We're gonna go for it.
Yeah.
God damn, bro!
Oh, man, dude.
You ate the wrong cookie.
It did.
You ate the wrong cookie. One last time, this is Why Am I Nerd since Yoda Comics. You can follow us on Instagram at Why Am I Nerd Official, Facebook.com/Why Am I Nerd. And listen to new issues every Tuesday on your favorite podcast service, and catch new issues every Monday on YouTube at YouTube and search Yoda
First
Comics.
letters, yeah, just find us.
Yeah, dude. Like, just totes. Bro, yo, where are the words with the
Something like that. He's Cameron James. I'm Matt.
I didn't even do
Ferrero.
this. Oh my god. This show's over.